So there was a demo going on till now. So just let me close all the screen. So today we'll be looking at the real-time jobs. So this is one of the most interesting part, and as well as a little confusing part as well, because till now we have seen the data in the form of tables, rows and columns. So today we'll be looking at the data in a different perspective, that is nested structures. So this is one of the most uh, important thing that will generally not perform using data services, because uh, generally in every project that you get the data in the form of tables and databases, or in the form of rows and columns, but generally you'll not get the data in the form of an XML file. Just give me a second. Yeah, management console we will cover, Rishabh, because I'm trying to first complete the part that is related to the real-time jobs in the management console, and then we'll look at the management console. Good, thanks for reminding me that. All right, so thing is that we look at the data in a different perspective, and I know it is a nested data. Or what we can do is we'll take this real-time jobs a little later, so we'll try to complete the management console first. Okay, so let us go as per the schedule. So first let us complete the management console, and probably tomorrow we'll look at the real-time jobs. So right, so management console topic change. So management console is an administrative tool. So that is point number one. Management console is used to do the administration activities, and that is the place where we go and register our repositories. That is the place where we created users and groups when we are learning about the management console, or learning about the central repository. So now we will see what are the different possible things that we can do using a management console. So the navigation for the management console is Start, All Programs, Business Objects XI 3.2, Data Services, and Management Console, Data Services Management Console. When you click on this, it opens in a web page. Okay, so if you look at this name, this will be the server name, 28080 will be the port name, and Data Services is the server name. So I mean, this is the tool name, and you get logins to question mark here. So this is how you understand. So if you look at this hyperlink somewhere, you can. All right. Yeah, guys. Yeah, I just muted because I got a call from Prakash. All right, so let's open this management console, and the first time it takes a little longer period, so that is the reason why I generally don't close that. So just let me see if I closed it somewhere. No. Or there's another way where you can log into the management console, that is through your designer. So initially it will take a little time to log in. So just let it log in. I'll show you the other way meanwhile. Alright, so we got it. So other way in which you can log into the management console is from here. So you can directly click on this one, which will again take you back to the web page, which is management console. So by default, the installation guys or the administrators, they give this username and password as admin and admin for this data services designer. Or if they give you the system access, they have to provide you this username and password as well. So if it is not admin and admin, then they have to provide you with the username and password. Going forward in your project environment, the administrator will give you an access, but again, this we will have a limited access here. So give the password, username, admin and admin, and just check the remember password checkbox and click on login. So initially, when you first log into this management console, you get only the administrator part activated. All the remaining things will be grayed out. So once you start working on your tool, then automatically all the remaining things gets activated. But initially, when you just log in for the first time, you can see only the administrator active. So till now we are going into the administrator and we are trying to work. So what does administrator do? It manages your production environment, including batch jobs, execution, real-time services, web services, adapter instances, server groups, central profiler repositories, and more. So this administration is administrator is a complete administration an administrative tool which manages your environment. So it includes the batch job execution. So next, real-time services that we'll be looking in tomorrow's class. Web services we'll be looking in tomorrow's class. Adapter instances again tomorrow's class, because all these things will fall under your real-time jobs. And server groups, central repositories, profiler repositories. So all these things can be managed here. So let us go into this administrator. So this is the core management part of management console, where we log in and we try to perform all the different admin activities. So let us just recall what we have done so far. We went to management, we clicked on the repositories, and we added our repositories here. Okay. So once we click on add repository, so we gave username, password, database name, server name, and our repository is available here. So the second thing that is available under the repository is the data stores. So if you expand, it gives you the repository names here. So our repository is repo_user1. If you click on that one, it will give you all the different data stores that are present. And again, if you expand these data stores, it will give you the configurations. And if you click on this configurations, it will take you to the configuration window. So there is no need for you to actually go back to the designer, go to the data store, select the data store, edit, go to the advanced part, go to the edit configurations and change these things here. There is no need for you to do this. Administrator, being an administrator, you can log into the management console. You can go to the data stores, go to the respective repository, and you can do changes on these things. Okay, you can do the changes, right? Or you can go to any other repository. So I was an admin here. Now I can go to any other repositories and I can check their configurations or check their this thing. So I go to the local user 2. I don't have any configuration. So just click on this one. I get the credentials of the data stores. So this is what we can look at the data store point in the management console under the management. So the administrators or the architects, they can log into your management console and they can look at all the repositories that are present and all the data stores that are present. Okay, then report server configurations. So you just click on this one. So it gives you where this particular report server is configured and what is the communication port, what is the path where it is saved, the type of the file that is saved, and you can override that or not, and the language in which it is written. So the general reports that are executed by the system will be written into this particular path. So the path is C:, program files, business objects, data services, data quality, /reports. Okay, then next one is users. So it gives you all the list of users. So on the system level, we have only one user, which is admin. So that is the reason why we clicked on admin and admin to get into the system. So if you want different user, or you want to create a user on your own name, you can create the user, password, and the display name and the role. You can select him as an operator, multi-user administrator, profile admin, profile user, or the administrator, and keep the status to active, and just click on apply. This repository will be created. That we can create users here. Then access server. So this is the access server which is available on your system. This is the communication port, and this is the machine name. So this access server should be active, so it should have some values here. If not, you cannot work on the real-time jobs. So access server, being an access server available, is one of the most important for the real-time jobs. Then the profiler configurations. So it has some configuration related to the profiling environment. Then the status intervals, long retention period, and all these things are core, the installation related things. And CMS connections. So CMS stands for Central Management Server. So that is a part of the Business Objects Enterprise. And if you look at this Data Services 4.0, CMS is completely integrated with the Data Services Designers and Data Services Management Console. So in 3.2, there was an experiment where they gave a provision that they can connect this to the CMS server, okay, but you don't have a CMS server installed on the 3.2 system. But on the 4.0 system, the CMS server is also a part of your installation, so you can connect and configure this thing. And next one is the certification log. So each and every repository has a certification log, let it be a local repository or a central repository. So we have a certification log and where it is saved and all these things. Okay, so you can see from which time to which time we want to see the certification log as well. So these are the different management aspects that we perform. Next one, let us look at the status. Status we'll look at in the real-time jobs, not now. The real-time web services, we'll look at them. Next one is the batch. So now, repo user 1, if I click on this, it displays all the jobs that are present within my repository. So these are all the jobs that we have created so far, and project BODS training is our project name. Okay, so this is our project name, project BODS training, and under that we have all these different jobs. So if you want to execute a job from the management console, so you can directly go to a job, click on execute here, okay, and if it is having a system configuration, then you can choose which configuration you want to execute, and you can just click on execute and click here to view the log. So the job is completed successfully, and you can see the monitor and you can see the error log as well. Okay, if there is any error, it gives you the error. So this is the monitor place where we see how many records are extracted, and this is the job execution, and you see this is 7:17:30 seconds. So this is which is my system time. So this is when the job got executed and completed. So this is how you can execute jobs from the management console. So go to the batch, click on the repository, whichever the repository that you want to execute on, then go to this batch configuration, and then you can execute the job, add a schedule to the job, or schedules, look at the schedules of the job. So if there are no schedules now. If you want to schedule a job, you can click add schedule, and it will take you to the schedule screen where you can give a schedule name and check this to be active. Then data services scheduler, we are not trying to do a BOE scheduler. BOE stands for Business Objects Enterprise. It's a data services scheduler, and we don't have a CMS now, so we keep it empty. Then schedule the days for execution. So you can select which day of the month or which day of the week you want the job to be executed. So you can select day of the month or day of the week. So select first day of the week and schedule time for executing the jobs. Okay, once per day, and its start time and end time is this, and multiple times per day, and the start time and end is this, and you have to also specify the duration in which time the job gets executed every time in a day, and repeat intervals you have to specify. And again, you can choose between the type of the system configuration and the job server if you have any other job server, and once you click on apply, this job gets scheduled in your designer. And once you see that job schedule, you just go to click on the schedules. You have to see that this particular job is scheduled, and it will get triggered automatically at that particular time. So BODS has only a time-based schedules. You do not have any event-based schedules. Event-based schedules are something like event gets triggered from the database, and that trigger will initiate a job, or it will initiate an activity on the BODS server. So nothing as such is present in BODS. BODS can execute the jobs only on the time-based. I mean, that is what is coming with the tool. So if you want to execute with an event, so you can integrate this BODS with some database activities, and you can try to do that. I don't say that that is not possible, but this is what comes with the package. So repository schedules and batch job status. So if you want to see, if the administrator want to see what happened with the map CDC job, when it is executed and what time it is executed, and the duration for execution. So it gives you even the duration here, how many seconds a particular job took. So if administrator goes and clicks on the trace, he can see what time the job is started, what time the job is completed, and the duration in seconds. You can see in the previous screen. You can look at the monitor log, how many records are extracted, and time taken for extraction, and all these things you can look at. And if there is a failure, you can look at the error log. If there is no error, it says empty file received. So this is how the administrator can have a look at the different repositories, okay, and he will try to execute these jobs in different repositories. And right, so you see, so if you want to kill a job that is going on in one repository, so you can just select this one, and yeah, abort. So try to kill a job that is not running. So if administrator want to kill a job from management console, he can do it. He can execute, he can start or stop jobs, or he can delete the jobs from the logs. So this is all your log. So whenever you executed your jobs, this is the log. So you can just go to this log and delete improperly executed jobs. So this is a failure. You can delete that job. So you can do all these activities from the management console. So that is what we do in the batch jobs. Real-time jobs, web services we'll look tomorrow once we are dealing with the real-time data. Then SAP connectivity, it gives you the connectivity or RFC interfaces. So you can configure your RFC, remote function call interfaces, between the SAP system to the management console. But this is not a mandatory thing, but if you want, you can add the services and start the RFC interface here. So this is the configuration window where you can add the services. So SAP BI client, development, username, password, and all those things. And once you click on apply, you'll see that, and you have to start that interface. And once the interface statistics are started, so you can access the SAP site from your management console as well. Then the adapter instances. Adapter instances tells about the job server and which web service is present and all these things. Adapter configurations, we will look at these things tomorrow in the real-time concept. Then the server groups. So it tells you all the job servers that are present within your management designers, because Server groups is something like you have the job servers and you bundle up all the job servers into a single group, and you try to point your jobs to the job server group rather than sending it directly to the job server. So within that group, it is an automatical or intelligent distribution process. So if one particular job server is overloaded, it automatically distributes the jobs to the other job servers. And next we have seen the central repository. So how to create users. So I think central repository, which one is? I think this is the one. So we have created users and groups, and we have, right, so this is the one. So we have created the users, we have created the groups, and we have seen how to utilize them within the central repository, and this is also covered. So that is the reason why I was saying, like, this particular tool, central repository, will be covered in multiple phases of the training. So it is not just one class we cover it. So this is an administrative tool, and whenever and wherever it is required, we have been looking at this tool and what are the different things that we can do with this. So the remaining parts of this sorry, central repository, what has to be covered, we will be looking them in the real-time jobs. So real-time jobs deal with central repositories because when you execute a job from the designer, it is called testing the real-time job, and when you execute it from the management console, it is called executing the real-time job. So there is a difference between testing and execution. So execution happens only from management console. So this is the administrator part of the management console. We'll look at the auto documentation, validation, impact and lineage analysis, dashboards, and data quality reports. So auto documentation: view, analyze, and print graphical representations of all objects as depicted in the data services designer, including their relationships, properties, and more. So we need to do we need to do our documentation on any project that we work on. So what we do, we create a Word document and finally convert that into a PDF and say that, okay, this is the document related to this particular project, because that is one of the practice that is followed across the globe. So what are the projects that you work on, or what are the development process that you have done, you need to create a documentation. So probably what we do, we take screenshots of that from the tool, but paste them in the Word document and try to give some justification, try to tell like what are the joining conditions and all these things, but forget about all those things in data services because there is no need for you to touch them as well. Vue.js will do auto documentation for you. So click on auto documentation. Now, first simple technique that you need to understand is you cannot get to choose a repository here. Okay, so you need to go to settings, drop down, select the repository, click on apply, and now you see your own project here. Okay, so you just remember this thing, you do not get anywhere that you can go and change this repository. You get it only in the settings. So go to the settings, select the drop down list and select your repository and click on apply. It will take you to this your repository, and once you expand the repository, it will give you all the list of jobs that are available, and you generally do a documentation or annotations on top of your jobs only. So what we do is first click on the repository. It gives you the repository information, the Microsoft and the version of the repository, and then you click on the job servers on the project area. It gives you the number of jobs. So if you want to create an auto documentation on a project saying that these are the different jobs that are present within the project, you can just click on the project and click on the print icon which is next to the project, and it will ask you what sort of print that you need. You won't include all these things, or a Word document or a PDF. Click on print. I'm going for a PDF. So it will give you a PDF which creates a structured documentation on this. So it says that, okay, these many Okay, so it says that this is the document about, and it is 116 pages. So I took a documentation on a complete project level. So this is the project level, and first one is the case. So in case you see DF case and DF merge, and it gives you what tables are used and what I am trying to do in the case transformation via 1, via 2, and via 3. And it gives you a description, alright? So all these things, each and every table used, what is the relationship, what is the description, everything is available here. Okay, so all the jobs, 1.1.12, job number 1.1.12, then next you'll get 1.12.1, and within that it gives you a sub number range, and it shows what I am trying to do within this pivot and reverse pivot. Okay, so this tells what work you are trying to do, and you just need to send this auto documentation to your team leads or to your on-site counterpart so that they will look at this and they can understand what you have done in your job. So if they are doing any validations on the job's quality, so what they will do is they will go to this management console and check the auto documentation and check the relationship between your two tables. So this is the relationship that you are profiling. So all those things can be done using the auto documentation. So now we are doing at the project level. So just in case if you want to do at the job level, so click on the job, okay, and you see the job design here. It says that it started with the script and it first came to the condition $G_Mara. When it is yes, it goes to DF_Mara, and when it is no, it comes out of this one, and again it goes to Marcy, and if the condition is satisfied, it goes to DF Marcy. If no, it goes out of this condition. And third one is again it goes to condition Mardi, and if it is Y, then it goes to DF Mardi. If it is not, it tries to end the job. So this is the auto documentation of your job, the complete graphical representation. And on top of that, if you want to see what happens in DF Mara, or if you want to see what happens in script, you can click on them and it will just minimize the graphical representation, and it says that declaring the global variables, it gives you a screenshot of your script. So just go back, click on the data flow, so it just shows you what happens in the data flow. So in DF Mara, I'm using the query transformation and get stage Mara table. So to click on the query transformation, it says how many columns that I have extracted. So whatever you do within your data services designer, you can see them using the auto documentation in the management console. So if you want to take a print of this one or convert this into a Word document or a PDF, you can click on this print icon. And this is the mapping tree tab, which gives you how many fields are mapped in this particular table, what is their description, what is their field name, and it gives you the materials descriptions as well. So material LBORM is material flag for deletion plant level, then the material types, then you have the industry sector, then you have the material group, base unit of measure, and so on. So it gives you all the different fields that you extract and all those things, and table usage gives you what is your source table and what is your target table. So you can see this description here, source and target. So in this particular data flow, what is your source and what is your target? So it gives you a clear picture on this. Right, so okay, you can do an auto documentation on a job level and just print it. Okay, once it is done, you can open this. And ETL documentation for job condition scripts and global variables. And this is the design of the job. And these are the global variables that are used. These are the tables that are used, and these are the target tables that are used. Okay, now the object properties. From this table, these many fields, and these are the descriptions of each and every field, and next table, and so on. So there is no need for you to worry about any documentation that you need to do on the data services. It does an auto documentation. Okay, so if you just click on only the data flow or the things that you click on, it will give you on detailed documentation about them. All right. So this is about the auto documentation. You can create the documents, or you can view, you can create the documents, and you can generate the documents into a Word document or a PDF, and send it as an attachment along with your job, saying that I have completed the auto documentation as well. Sorry, you guys not able to listen to my voice? Rishabh, is my voice clear now? Can you guys hear my voice? Okay, right. So I just saw a message. Jay, what about you? Are you able to listen to my voice now? Let me check. Just give me a second. Jay is having a problem with the voice, so I'll try to get him back. Jai, please confirm once you hear my voice. Okay, I think he's trying to relog into the call. Jay, can you hear my voice now?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, right. So for what long time you lost the voice?
Yeah, like it is a job level documentation.
Okay, then nothing much. We just are trying to check the job level documentation. And once you see the screen, Jay, can I put you on mute, or can you put yourself on mute? All right, thank you. Jay, I kept you on mute. Okay, so right. So once you see all this documentation, Jay, this is a quick recall for you. So once you see this documentation, you can click on print, and you can see whether it is you can see the entire documentation and what are the logic that you have used and join conditions, and you can send it along with your code for the quality reviews and all. So you can, there is no need for you to worry about the auto documentation. The system does that, and that is Aqua Documentation here. So this is data validation. So validation is a kind of tricky thing that is not working as of now. So evaluates the reliability of your target data based on the validation rules that you provide. One second, there is problem with Jay again. I left the call. Jay, is there any problem?
Yeah, sometimes, but now it's clear. It looks.
Okay, right, good. So, okay, I'll show you how this validation should work and all these things, but this is not working on my system, maybe some batch problem or software problem. So, evaluates the reliability of your target data based on the validation rules that you create within your data services jobs. So, it evaluates your target data on the validations that you provide in the designer. So, there's no data here available, so just go to the settings and choose the repository on which you want to do, and you have to create a functional area as well. Okay, and give some description for that functional area. Just save this, and once you save this functional area, it goes to the part where it gives you all the list of associated jobs where you have applied some validation rules on your jobs. Okay, but it should show the list of jobs here, but it is not showing. So once it shows the available batch jobs, you can move that to the associated batch jobs. Okay, so you can just add these things, and once you add these jobs here, so you can see the functional area and the name of the business rule, and you can give some description and the priority of that business rule here. And once it is done, you just click on OK, apply and OK, and now you can see some reports here which says that this is how this validation was done on the data. So can you please provide the Jay, sorry. Okay. Right, Jay, you are the organizer now. Right. So this is a validation cross-check process. So once you apply some rules, validation rules on your designer, data services designer batch jobs, they should be visible within this data validation part, and you can utilize them by clicking on the settings, going to the particular repository. You have to create a functional area, and once you create the functional area, you have to choose the list of jobs from available batch jobs to the associated batch jobs, and then the business rules that you define within these jobs are visible here, so that you can utilize them and you can create your reports on top of this. But this is somehow it is not working on my system. Even if you can click here to see the history, okay, there's no data, maybe some patch or software problem. The next one is impact and lineage analysis. So this is one important thing that we need to know, especially this is useful post-development process. Okay, this is a post-development process. So once you design your code, once your code is completed, then you have to understand how good your jobs are, or what will happen if you do some changes on the source, how it is going to impact your targets, and if you say do some changes on the target, how it is going to impact your source. So these kind of impact and lineage analysis. So if you look at the definition, analyze the end-to-end impact and lineage for data services tables, columns, and SAP business objects, enterprise objects such as universe, business views, and reports. So it does impact and lineage analysis for both, business objects enterprise and data services as well. So look at the data services part. So click on this impact and lineage analysis. So just if you want to select the right repository, you can just go and select the repository from the drop down. Then refresh usage data, it just refreshed. Column mappings are calculated successfully. So if you have done some changes recently on the database level and they are not reflected on the designer level or on the management console level, if you just click on refresh, then automatically the new structure is available, and this is about tab. So you can select the repository, apply and close. So now your repository is available on the left hand side. Select an object type, you can drop down and select. If you just want to go for universe, classes and objects, business view, elements and fields and reports, all these things from universe belong to the business objects enterprise. Tables and columns belong to our data services. So I'm selecting tables and columns. So first click on the repository. It gives you the repository information saying that repository, this is this Microsoft server and the version, and the data flow calculations. So the status is checked for all these things, and these are the different data flows that are used available within the repository. So now this is the data flow, and the description you haven't given, so the description is not available and the status is checked. Now go to the data store level, okay, and select one particular data store. So now select source data store. So it gives you the data store application type as custom data store, Microsoft SQL Server, username, configuration, the server version, the database name, and the server name. And if you click on a table, okay, so it gives you overview, impact, lineage, and mapping tree. So overview, it says there is a customer table from this particular data store. The owner name is DBO, and it is a table. The second one, impact. So since it is a source table, if you do changes on this source table, what are the different target tables that get affected? It gives you an impact analysis. So this particular customer table, so just remember the moment I put my mouse pointer on this customer one, it gives you the data store name and the owner name. So this is loading the data into target customer, and the target customer is again loading the data into another target customer table. So we have to see if you do some changes on this table, like on the metadata or on adding or removing the columns. So this will impact this and this will impact this. So this is the impact analysis that we do. And data lineage. Lineage happens when you are taking the target tables, because that is the reverse engineering. Impact happens on the source tables. So if you do some changes on the source table, the impact will be there. If we do some changes on the target table, the lineage will be there. Since this is the source table, there is no lineage, and this is the mapping tree. Table is not used as a target. Now let us take some table that is used as a target. Okay, so staging Marcy, this is the overview, and this is the impact. No impact because this is a target table. So impact is something that is done when you do some changes and it is trying to impact the others. But since this is the target table, there is no impact. But if you check the lineage, it tells you this data is dependent on this particular source table. So this is how the lineage is present, and mapping tree is available. It says that this is from this particular data flow. These are the table fields, and this is the source column names. So it gives you the impact and lineage analysis, like you can, if some change request is there. So that is why I told you this is a post development process. So if there is a change request there saying that these are the tables that you have to change, so you can directly go to the management console and see what is the impact and what is the lineage and what are the fields that are present so far and what are the fields that you need to add, and you can view the impact and lineage analysis on this particular tables. So you can tell them directly that, boss, this is what will happen if I do changes on this table, this source table, or this target table, and this is how it is going. These are the different tables that is going to impact as per the job design. So that is about the impact and lineage analysis. Next one is the operational dashboard. View dashboard of data services job execution statistics. This is not something related to the data or something related to your your work that is done on the system. This is the dashboard for job execution statistics to see at a glance the status of the performance of the jobs execution for more than one or more repositories over a given period of time. So from the last 6 months, from the last 3 months, from the last 1 month, you can see how the job server is being pressurized by multiple job servers, multiple local repositories executing their jobs on the same job server. So click on the operational dashboard. It gives you a dashboard saying that this is how the system is facing a pressure from the jobs, local jobs executions. Because all the local users that we have will point to only one job server. So now look at this dashboards. It is loading the data. So I think my system, it will show in red because I've already overused it. Yeah. So this is, see, if you see this one, this is in a danger state, saying that I'm utilizing more pressure on this one. So automatically what the administrators they try to do is like they try to take off some repositories and try to assign them to the another job server so that the burden on this particular job server will go down. Okay, and the second one is it shows you the time, like 12 a.m. to 7:49 p.m., 7:49 a.m. So from today morning, these are the jobs that I have executed. Okay, so today I have executed only one job and it ran successfully. And on Feb 5th, I executed 7 jobs. On Feb 3rd, I executed 6 jobs, and Feb 10th, Feb 2nd, I executed some 10 jobs. So if you want to look at these jobs, you can click on these jobs, and it will give you the repository names, job names, start time, end time, execution duration, and system configurations, if any. So you can just go back, and you want to see the failures. So just click on the errors. It gives you the map CDC as a failure. You can click on the error, warning, or succeeded. You can see any of these jobs here. Okay, so the legend is present, succeed, warning, error, or if your job is still running, you can see the job here and in a blue color saying that the job is still running. So these are the different dashboards that you can see to understand the performance of your job server, and you can see also click on view history. So this gives you the entire history, and you can choose. This is just last 7 days burden on the system. So if you want to see last 15 days or 60 days, so this can have the two batches, so 3 batches, right? See, so repo local TK, this is one batch, and the second one is repo Damodar, this is another batch of repo user one. So in last 60 days I've just done 3 batches, and I'm trying to utilize this job server for all the 3 batches. So I'm trying to put a burden on the system. So looking at this, we can understand that okay, we have to take off some repositories and utilize them somewhere else. And that is how you understand this one, looking at the dashboards. Next one is data quality reports. So this report view and export reports for batch and real-time jobs such as job summaries and data quality transformations. So we have performed one data quality transformation, which is the match transformation. So let us check if that is available here, right? So go to settings. So this is in our repository only. So repo_user1, you can see it on the right top. And yeah, this job is available. So this report here has an icon. So once you click on this report, it will take you to the multiple reports. So one is the match duplicate simple, then the best record summary, match criteria, match contribution. So you click on this magnifying glass or the doldrum symbol there, and it opens a report on that particular segment, what you are trying to do with the match transformation. So it opens that particular first one. What is the first one that we are trying to look at? The match duplication samples. So it gives you the company name on which we are trying to do the match duplication sample, and the match type is like string, and it gives you the rank scores, number of things that are present, the group number, and it gives you a complete statistics. Like, okay, looking at this, we can understand, okay, this is the report that we have generated. And even this is like highly formatted, beautiful reports which you can send it to the client saying that I have done this data quality and this is the report. Now you click on this one, it's the next report. Okay, it gives you a statistics again, the summary, match criteria summary. So it says that initials are 80 and substrings are 80, addresses extended, then the compare algorithm is done on the word, and checked for transpose leaves, no, and match found none, weighted score and all those things. So this is again completely related to the data quality part, and you can see all these summaries, criteria that are available here. Okay, so once you do, oh sorry, okay, so once you do any management, data service configurations or data quality transformations within your designer, so the list of jobs will be listed here, and you can pull out some reports on top of that, and you can send it to the data owners or say that, hey, this is what I have done on this, and this is an analysis of the report on that particular data quality transformation. And you can share it to your data owners or whoever requires this to understand what was done on this at the job level. So this is about the management console. So any questions? I think like once you guys go into this management console and try to see each and everything and try to use each and everything, it will be pretty easy. It is not difficult to. So any questions on this one so far?
Hi Shyam, this is Jay. Can you please repeat the data validation? I think I lost connection that time.
Yeah, data validation is not working on my system, Jay, because maybe some software patch or something. But thing is that you just go to the settings, you select the repository here. So once you select the repository, you need to create a functional area. And once you create, so let me create a test. Okay. Okay, so I have to create a test underscore functional area. So once I create this, click on save. So it gives you the list of jobs, available batch jobs that are having this validations applied on the job. So we have those validations done in the validation transformation. Those jobs should be visible here. And once the jobs are available, you move it to the associated jobs, and then you check what is the business rule that is available there. And once it is done, so what it does is it validates the target database tables data with the validation rules that you specify within your job, and it ensures that whatever the data that is pushed into the target table is correct. So it does a validation on the target data. So evaluates the reliability of your target database based on the validation rules that you create in your data services batch jobs. So this is about the data validation, but somehow it is not working on my system from very beginning. I tried to get it fixed as well, but no, it is not working. So any questions on management console? There are a few things left in the administrative part which we'll be covering in tomorrow's real-time jobs class. So I think this is the class real-time jobs class where we'll
Data Insights is not working on my it's not installed on my server, so how to get that?
For you, I think 4.0. I think 4.0 is installed on your system, and you'll have information steward.
I don't see that too. Information steward.
You'll have information platform services. Okay, Jai, can we take up that with Prakash, because Prakash will be doing that. Okay, Rishabh has a question. Can we get some details on the projects we'll be working on in advance so that we can think about it prior to decisions? Rishabh, see, what we are trying to look at the projects is two scenarios. How you will work when you get the data in the form of a flat file, how you will work when you get the data in the form of an SAP table. So these are the two major scenarios that we'll be working, and this project is most about the methodologies that you follow when you try to work on a project. Okay, the basic standards that are provided, the best practices that are suggested by SAP, and what are the things that you need to follow. So we need to go through those things in the project. So it is not like we are opening up some adventure works or Northwinds and we are trying to tell like how this is done and all those things. So we will be seeing like what is this project about, what is the intention behind this project, what are the different stages that will happen in a project right from the sales call till the go live, what are the different phases that will be a part of your project, and along with that we'll be seeing as well like what are the best practices, what are the methodologies that are there in market which are proposed by SAP. And see, these things, the best practices, knowledge on the best practices, the methodologies, or the ways that you try to address the project, or what are the different things or different stages from the sales call till the go live. So these things add value to your interviews. Okay, so technically, even like once you start working on the tool, anybody can just log into the designer and create a job. But knowing about the methodologies, knowing about the different phases of the project is more important, and that we'll be covering within our project sessions. Any questions before we call it a day?
Hey Samuel, yeah, can we able to create like run the jobs parallelly on these parallel jobs and data?
Sorry?
Can we run the jobs parallelly on data services? I mean,
yeah, we can run. Yeah, that is the nature of data services. Like you have one job which is extracting some 10,000 records from table 1, and you have to run another job which is which has to extract another 10,000 or 20,000 records from table 2. You can run these two jobs parallelly. Execute job 1. When the job 1 is running, go immediately and execute the job 2, because that is how it runs, right? So from the management console perspective, if you look, all the different users are executing their jobs on the same job server. So that is how it generally works. The job server will parallelly execute all these different jobs.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Rishabh, I got your question, so I'll talk to you regarding that. I'll send you an email. All right, guys, we'll call it a day because I was taking some demos and classes from morning 5 o'clock, and it is already 8, and I had to get ready and rush to office. So we'll catch up tomorrow at the same time. So we'll start sharp at 7, and we'll try to complete the real-time concepts. So this completes the entire technical parts of the data services. And once we complete this entire technical part of the training, then we'll look at the project scenarios in one day, because the major thing is that I am concentrating on the projects is the naming conventions, the approach, the methodology and stuff. So we'll look at that and the project orientations, where we have one more class to complete. So try to be on time, because you guys are always on time. There is no need to tell about time for this batch. So just try to be on time tomorrow so we can start and wind, because there are two documents that we need to cover. One is manipulating XML data, and the second one is real-time data jobs. So these are the two documents from SAP. We'll be covering that as a part of our class tomorrow. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for your time. Have a good day and good night ahead. We'll catch up tomorrow.